Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the Open Great League, and let's see if we can make this team work. We got the Clodsire paired with the Serperior and the Ferrothorn today. We are going to play this one out here. They decided to go for the close combat, which is very interesting. We're going to fire off the Earthquake. Earthquake does get the shield, and looks like our opponent is committing to the close combat. Actually, they go for the Rage Fist. So Rage Fist, after the close combat, to get to the close combat at the end takes us out. But now they're double debuff, and all we have to do is shield here and farm down. We see the Bastiodon lurking in the back, and that's not really a counter to this Serperior. So as of right now, we are in a great spot because we also have another answer to this Bastiodon. However, they do have the move Flamethrower, which would be really bad for our Ferrothorn. So we're just going to allow them to use the Flamethrower on our Serperior. Then we overfarm with our Ferrothorn, and we see the Feraligatr lurking in the back. Feraligatr is going to struggle to take out this Ferrothorn because if they have Ice Beam, they need to get to two of them. We are going to fire off the second Power Whip for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the double grass in the back. Bastiodon taking out the Serperior was key because not only did they have relatively low energy by that point, but then Ferrothorn was able to tank all those moves. Here we got the Ferrothorn switch in versus the Grumpig. They do have the Dynamic Punch, so that's pretty good coverage move for them. They're staying in, so expecting another Dynamic Punch. We do survive that one, so now we're just going to fire off our own Power Whip. We grab two shields really early on, and we're just going to dip out of here and go into our Serperior. Serperior is going to be able to tank the move. We finally get rid of the Grumpig, but we basically showed them everything we have. Our opponent does switch out into the Morpeko, but this Morpeko doesn't really want to catch that Frenzy Plant, actually. So, interesting play. We are going to let the first one go. Ends up being the Psychic Fang, and we're looking for the farm down. We get the farm down, and now we have the energy required to take out their Wiggly. There's the Earthquake, and unfortunately for this Wiggly, they're just not going to be able to get to enough charge moves to take us out. We let this Icy Wind go through, and we can still win this game because Clodsire is just too much of a tank. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game, even though we revealed all of our Pokemon pretty quickly. All right, we got the Clodsire versus the Drapion. This is okay. They swap out for us, and we go into the Ferrothorn. So now we have a really good matchup. Our opponent is going to invest their first shield, and at this point, we just apply a lot of pressure. Skull Bash Lapras. Okay, so now that means we are going to have to get to multiple Power Whips because they are boosted in defense, and it's going to be that much harder to take them down. Second Skull Bash gets used, and we are just going to unable to farm down. Fire off the Power Whip. We got to maintain the alignment. We fire off the Thunder. Does roughly 30%, and they GG's quit. So well played by us, making sure we have good alignment, but also fortunate that the Lapras ended up running Skull Bash. All right, Malamar lead here is not the best. We are going to switch out into our Serperior because whatever move they throw, we can tank. If we win to the Ferrothorn, they potentially have the superpower. So that's the adjustment we made. Here comes another foul play, and they swap out into their Lapras. Interesting switch in here. So we have to think about shooting here or letting this go. We decided just to let it go because we have another answer. So we go into the Ferrothorn. So Ferrothorn into the Lapras is going to be able to get to multiple Power Whips. We have to remember they still have their Malamar. So we need energy heading into the back line. And we see the Morpeko in the back. So the energy on the Ferrothorn here is going to be key. We do grab that shield. We're going to let this go because we can survive any of the moves. And now our opponent here is going to be forced to make a decision. Do they throw the move or do they go into their last Pokemon? They go for that Aura Wheel. Unfortunately for them, not enough to take us out. We save the shield for this Malamar. Now we go for the farm down. And all we have to do is get to this Earthquake to take out this Morpeko. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Luckily, the double grass team kind of working, especially with all these Morpekos and Lapras floating around, taking full advantage of the type advantage. All right, we got the Weezing. They swap out into the Goodra. The Goodra here is pretty spammy, unfortunately. We are going to fire off the Power Whip after their Thunder Punch. Power Whip, not effective, but it is going to chip away at this Goodra. Looks like we need at least 2 more Power Whips, so we're just going to overfarm. We go to this Power Whip here. It's not going to KO. They know that. And we just go for the back-to-back. Now we have to decide, do we want to let them... Okay, they don't even go for the overfarm. But they just go for the immediate KO. And then we just swap out into the Clodsire because we take a little bit of energy advantage into whatever they have in the back. They reveal Lapras. Lapras doesn't want to see that Stone Edge, so that was a huge Stone Edge. Here we're just gonna have to tank this. Luckily we are able to survive it, which allows us to get to this Stone Edge. We do grab that shield, and now we can switch out. They get to a move. Do we think this is Ice Beam? Oh wow, it ends up being the Ice Beam, so that's unfortunate for us. We are going to be really low on health now. So in order to win this game, we need to get this Weezing into farm down range. So we go for another Aerial Ace, gets him into the red, but we get farmed down, and that is probably the end of our run here. Brutal Swing takes out the Clodsire easily, and we get farmed down. So well played by them. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.